Welcome to the first broadcast of Caramoor Music Desk. I'm your host, Mike Goodkind, and each week I will be bringing on a new guest, and this week we have our very own Jeff Hayden joining us. Jeff, good to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me here, Mike.
Yeah, Jeff. Anyway, it's your first year as CEO, and festival season's coming up about 4 days away from opening night. Talk a little bit about She Loves Me and the show.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, first of all, Caramoor in the summertime, extraordinary. Oh my gosh. Just walking around the grounds, seeing the dogwood trees in full bloom, all the gardens in bloom, everybody out. This is extraordinary. Coming here and seeing this, I lived through the winter and it's a beautiful place, but then when you come and see and walk around here in the summertime and just see the magic that takes place, you start to hear the crickets in the background, you start to see people come around, and I can't think of any better place to be listening to music and talking to people than Caramoor.
Well, the 105.36.
Exactly,
yeah, right.
Exactly, yeah. Unbelievable. So She Loves Me, you asked.
Right.
So She Loves Me, what a great show. We've been rehearsing it down in New York, down at the 42nd Street, new 42nd Street studios down there. They came up on Monday to perform in the Venetian Theater, and just clever show, a lot of fun lines in there, the music, the orchestration, so rich, lots of little gypsy music. This is the first time, I don't know if anyone's aware of this is the first time that the full orchestra version of this has been performed since the original show was launched. All the other remounts have been with reduced orchestration.
So even in 1994?
Yes, reduced orchestration. Great. So everyone is hearing the show really for the first time again, unless you happen to be here hearing it 50 years ago.
Well, tell me a little bit about Ted Sperling, the director. What's your relationship with him like?
Sure. Well, Ted's a great guy. I mean, he has so much experience on Broadway. He knows so many of the singers, and just in the Caramoor fashion, here is a group of extraordinary young singers who have already started making their marks on Broadway, but this is a chance for them to really shine and to work with an incredible pro like Ted, pulling them all together and giving them an incredible opportunity to come forward. So as you're sitting there watching him coach and rehearse, he's very cognizant of the presence of space and music and line, and so he's constantly refining it as they go. And these artists are really actors and musicians at the same time.
Well, I mean, it's your first year, so I mean, what has the preparation been like for the show upcoming, throughout the entire winter and the snow, the sleet, everything? What has the preparation just been like for this to all happen?
Well, I mean, anytime you mount a big production like this, everyone always asks, well, the Caramoor takes place during the summertime. What do you do the rest of the year? What do you do for the rest of the 48 weeks of the year? There's a lot of preparation that goes into making something like this successful. You've got to get the cast together, you've got to get the music together, you've got to find all of the right musicians to put in place, you've got to figure out all the props, you've got to figure out all the technical aspects of it, you got to get the rehearsal space. You're dealing with a lot of different schedules, making sure those all work together. And one of the magic points about Caramoor is you bring it all together in a way that's not only magical for the audience, but it's magical for the artists as well. Because if the artists are feeling that magic and they're feeling that support, they're going to deliver something extraordinary on the stage. If they're working too hard to get something on the stage, they're not going to be giving their best performance. And so that's the art and science behind the scenes that nobody knows, and that's what we love to do.
Well, I mean, how did the inspiration start for Broadway to come to Caramoor? For Broadway to come to the 914 or the 232, and for Broadway to come to this specific stage? Who sparked that idea?
Sure. This is an idea that predated my arrival here at Caramoor with a friendship between our general manager, Paul Rosenblum, and Ted Sperling, who worked together at the Collegiate Chorale. And every year, Caramoor, we try to figure out what would be something special for opening night. And the idea of mounting a Broadway show came up, and everybody loved the idea that HMS Pinafore, when we did that a few years ago, was a big success, and so we started looking for another show that was rich in orchestration and realized here's the show that has a 50th anniversary coming up. Nobody's celebrating it. We should be the ones to celebrate it. And so we have Sheldon Harnick and Joe Mastersloff coming here in person. We have Barbara Cook has been giving her name, and she unfortunately can't be here, but she's been helping us on the side. And just everybody that's part of the original production trying to make this happen. And to see the original group and this new group come together, that's something special.
Well, my last question on She Loves Me. I mean, what's your expectation like for this show? What are you expecting for the show to be like overall?
Good question. As far as expectation, depending on the generation of your frame of reference, for those of us of a younger movie-oriented sort, a lot of us have seen that Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks film. You've got Mail.
Yeah.
Remember AOL? And then those of us who are into more the classics, Little Shop Around the Corner, and the plot is great, and expect to laugh. Expect to hear some incredible music, expect to hear some witty lines, and expect to come to a magical place with Caramoor. I mean, seeing a show like this in the big tent, in the gardens, with all the buzz of the people around here, this is not your typical 42nd Street Broadway production. This is Broadway at Caramoor.
Okay, and of course the gala. I mean, everyone is always looking forward to the gala. It's one of the big events on that night. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. This is Caramoor at its finest. Caramoor knows how to throw a party, and we have one of the biggest galas that we've ever had in our history coming up on Saturday night. We're honoring someone who's very near and dear to Caramoor's heart, but also many other people in the area. Zita Rosenthal, who's done so much to champion the arts, and this is an opportunity where Caramoor can really honor and recognize a champion of the arts, and there are too few of them out there. And for those of us who believe passionately in the power and the inspiration of the arts, like all of us do, to find someone that's willing to really be a champion and stand up, bring friends, identify talent, support it, that's an extraordinary art and talent in and of itself. And so we're honored to be able to recognize Zita and have a lot of fun doing it.
So, I mean, this entire gala and everything going on Saturday night, what can all the newcomers be expecting? The people who haven't seen Caramoor yet, what can they be expecting?
They can be expecting a party decked to the nines, incredible food. They can expect a great Broadway show and an after party that I've heard lasts well into the evening with lots of great dessert, lots of great drink, and just fun conversation afterwards. So prepare to be inspired, have fun, and be amazed.
We all look forward to seeing it. Thanks so much, Jeff, for joining us here in the show.
Thanks so much,
you can join us here at Caramoor live on Saturday night. If you could buy your tickets, call the number 232-5035. The area code is 914. Join us on Saturday night and join us next week for a brand new show and a brand new guest. Thanks, guys.